Well, hey guys, let's get started. Again, my mic was muted. Big apologies for that. TJ, thank you for stating the fact that I forgot to unmute myself. But this is Pikkit with Joe. It is Tuesday, April 18th. We have 4 playoff games on the slate today. Super excited for these games. We had fantastic games last night. I hope you guys made some freaking money. And if you made some freaking money, drop in the comments which games you were riding with me on, which games you made money on. Now, 3 out of the 4 games last night, we saw lower scoring games going under. That's what we're expecting in the playoffs here. The only reason the Edmonton and the Kings went into OT, the only reason that game went over was Edmonton really kicked themselves. They took these penalties, which allowed the Kings to come back in that game. Phenomenal appearance by the LA Kings. It was actually really funny. I was watching with an Oilers fan, and then my mother, who we all know is a Calgary Flames fan, she's decided to root for the Oilers. Not sure, mixed feelings on that. So she was rooting for the Oilers last night. I was kind of just rooting for my money, which was Kings plus 1.5. So I was happy with the outcome, but I was really disappointed with what we saw out of Edmonton, how they controlled that game and how they took these penalties. But phenomenal games out on the ice. Lots of opportunities last night to make some money. So if you made some money, please let me know what you bet and let me know what you're betting today, because so many more opportunities to make some money today as well. So let's go over today's 4 games. Let's make some more money, you guys. I'm so excited for these games. Now, I see all of you in, and I want to thank you so much for being here with me today. Big shout out to each and every one of you. Matt, the first one to jump in the comments here. Chris, you took the Kings and then went to bed. You thought it was dead in the water. I absolutely love that. Kings just getting that comeback, pushing that game to OT. It was definitely great to see. Big shout out to you, a big assist as well. Joe, shout out to you. I know my audio is back on. There I am. Big shout out to each and every one of you. Yeah, a couple misses last night, but we were pretty dead on last night. So it was good to see. I really didn't think the Kings and Edmonton would go to OT. So I was kind of shocked by that one. I really did think that was going to be one where Edmonton would hold their grounds, even in those last couple of minutes there. I thought they were going to be able to hold on, but those penalties for sure is what did it. So Joe's done with Deadmonton, and that's why people call them Deadmonton. So let's get going, you guys, with all of these. Thank you, Blair. I appreciate it. Sorry, guys. Just reading these comments, it does take me a second to process and read and then talk back to you guys. So I really appreciate it. Yeah, we did make some money. We're going to make some more money tonight. And let's get started by the first game here. The New York Rangers taking on the New Jersey Devils. Now, total of 7 in this one. This one's at 7 o'clock Eastern. Total has dropped from 6 down to 5.5. If this was 7, that would be absolutely mind-boggling to think we could get a total of 7. I would love it if we could, but we got a total of 5.5. I'm going to stay away from the total in this one. I could see a higher scoring first period, that over 1.5 in the first period. But I do think this is the Rangers' opportunity to pull off the upset here in New Jersey. I look at this Rangers team, and they have the experience, they have the depth. I think they're the stronger team on both sides of the puck, offensively, defensively, and goaltending-wise, with Igor Shesterkin in goal for the New York Rangers. I just have loved this team all season and everything we've seen out of them. Now, don't get me wrong. I do love the New Jersey Devils. Jack Hughes has been an absolute moneymaker for us. With the New Jersey Devils, Vanacek in goal has been so solid and so strong. But when I compare these two teams, both of these teams come out strong on both sides. It's the experience of the New York Rangers. We've got a lot of younger players for the New Jersey Devils. We look at Jack Hughes, who has made us tons of money this season. When he played Winnipeg back in November was the first time he'd got a hat trick in the NHL. So you've got to weigh into account these younger players coming into the playoffs here. It's a different style of hockey. Now, I wish this was in the Garden, absolutely, but it's not in the Garden tonight. It is in New Jersey, which does give New Jersey a little bit of an advantage here. But I do think the Rangers can come in at a plus 110. I got to jump on the Rangers to pull off that upset. Now, the Rangers came in third in the Metro. So they finished 47, 22, and 13. In their last 10 games, they went 5, 2, and 3. And when we look at the New Jersey Devils, 7 and 3 in their last 10. So they really did come out hot to finish this regular season, getting the second place in the Metro. Now, I had expected them to take the first place in the Metro. I was really surprised that the Canes got that last win and the Devils weren't able to take the Metro. So it did hurt my bet there, but they finished so strong, 52, 22, and 8 on the season for their points. Now, the last time they played the Rangers, they got that 2-1 win, and they went 3-0-1 on the season over the New York Rangers. So they do have the ability to beat this Rangers team. I just think playoff hockey is a different beast, and you're going to give me the New York Rangers at plus money. I don't think we'll get them at plus money again in New Jersey. I think this is one where the next time they play here on Thursday, we'll see the New York Rangers at minus 120 over the New Jersey Devils, because I do think this is one they come out and they get the win in this one. Another way you could look at this is the Rangers team total. I do think this is a 3-2 style game. So keeping us under that total, but like I said, I'm a little gun shy of that total. I really do think this could come down to an empty netter by the Rangers to push us over in this one. So I'm going to stay off that 5.5. But if you did want to bet it, I'd lean to that under. Again, playoff hockey. This series is going to go deep, you guys. So I've already bet this series to go to 7. I think this is going to be super competitive, back and forth. I just think the Rangers, I can't turn away from the plus money here. So I'm going to look at the Rangers at plus 110. I'm also going to look at their team total over 2.5. I think this one is a 3-goal game out of the New York Rangers for them to get the win. Now, when we look at the Devils in the quarterfinals, they went 1-4 in their last 5 conference quarterfinal games. The Rangers 7-3 in their last 10 conference final games. We know how deep that they went last season. And Igor, like I said, the ability of Igor Shesterkin to stand on his head. I'm going to look at his save shots on goal as well, and we're going to pull this up right now. We know the New Jersey Devils do get a ton of shots on goal. And this is one thing we cashed last night, and we cashed both goalies with Stuart Skinner and Korpisalo. We cashed both of them. Thank God it went to overtime, though, because I was short on one of them by 1 or 2 shots on goal before OT, but we got that one in OT done for the one goalie. But the goalie props tonight for Igor Shesterkin, his save shots is 30.5. And this, I think, is a great one to take Igor over. We know the New Jersey Devils average a ton of shots. It's 34.4 shots on goal per game. Now, the Rangers do a solid job of limiting to 29.3, but 30.5 isn't that high of a number in this style of competitive game here. Now, we are going to see defense lock down a lot more. I agree, but I do think the Devils, with their ability to get these shots on goal, will go over 30.5 shots on goal. Igor will save over that. I expect 33 shots out of them. I only expect 2 goals at the most out of the New Jersey Devils tonight. So I love Igor over 30.5 save shots on goal. Now, if we look at Vanacek, because we do have Vanacek's numbers, he's at 26.5 at minus 118 to the over. Now, the New York Rangers are averaging 31.5 shots on goal. And the New Jersey Devils are actually doing a better job at clamping down defensively. So I'm going to stay off of Vanacek's save shots on goal. I could see it hitting as well, but the Devils are holding opponents to that right around 28 shots on goal per game. And I think this is how the Devils will come out and play it. They're going to look to lock down defensively. I think the Rangers will look to push both sides. I do think their defense will be strong enough, but I think they will rely a little bit more on Igor than we'll see the Devils rely on Vanacek. So Igor save shots on goal over 30.5. Big Sis, thank you for joining me here today. Joey says the Devils will take game 1 over the Rangers. Best of luck to you. That's for sure. Yeah, Dedmonton. Only made money on Boston last night. Kevin, it's okay. You can keep making money on Boston. Boston did a phenomenal job, you guys, and I was actually really impressed. We did see Ullmark in goal, so talks of not seeing Ullmark or Swayman didn't come through. I was riding the Florida Panthers plus 1.5 on that puck line. I really did think they were going to be able to keep it tight, but Boston just too strong there. I still have my future of Boston in 4 or 5. Boston in 4 to get the sweep at plus 490. Now, I did think the Florida Panthers' best chance of getting a win was last night. We know Boston off of 3 or more days rest. So I will be looking at taking Boston another way in the next game as well. I don't think the Florida Panthers will be able to get the win. That being said, Lion did a phenomenal job in goal for the Florida Panthers. So looking at his save shots on goal might be something we will do next time, but we'll get into that one in a minute. And the refs did kill Dallas. I completely agree with you. We had Dallas minus 140, but the refs were not having it. You made it today, Mike. Glad to see you here. Glad you got off work early. That's for sure. You're taking the Rangers plus 1.5, and I don't mind that. I do think it is a tight game between these two. Let's jump into the next game, then I'll get back to your guys' comments here. We're going to look at the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Montreal. I almost said the Montreal Canadiens, the Toronto Maple Leafs. It'd be crazy if Montreal made it through. Toronto coming in here kind of like the Montreal Canadiens, where they can't get out of the first round. Toronto has struggled year in and year out to get out of this first round here. I do think they have the best team, the best ability to get out of this round. My issue with the Toronto Maple Leafs is goaltending. Now, Samsonov is confirmed in goal tonight, and he is, of course, their best chance to get them through to the next round. Now, it's a big ask here to take on the Tampa Bay Lightning with Vasilevsky in goal. Now, the Toronto Maple Leafs come in at minus 165 and plus 140 here for the Lightning. Now, this is a great price on the Lightning, and you guys know I love an underdog. I love the plus money, but I can't get on them in this one. I do think the Toronto Maple Leafs are a better team going into this playoff season than a team that we've seen in quite a long time. Ryan O'Reilly, phenomenal addition at the trade deadline for them. And I do think it pays off for this Leafs team. I could see them taking this one. It's not going to be easy for them to get through the first round versus the Tampa Bay Lightning, but I actually think they have the best chance in all the years to get it done this year. Now, looking at both of these teams, very strong offensively. Both of these teams strong defensively as well. The Lightning actually allow a lot more goals than the Toronto Maple Leafs. And when I say a lot more, it's 3.07 goals per game on average, where Toronto's holding opponents to under 3 at 2.68. Now, I think Vasilevsky is the better goalie, but we see Toronto defensively limiting their opponents, holding them to under 30 shots at 29.5 shots on goal per game. So they are giving that support to their goaltending. And then the Tampa Bay Lightning allowing that 31.5. Making sure Vasilevsky stands on his head more than anything is key for the Lightning to get this win. Now, both these teams getting the shots on goal, really similar offensively, both averaging right around 32 shots on goal and both averaging right around 3.4 goals per game. So looking at this game today, how are we going to make some freaking money, you guys? Because I do think Toronto gets the win here, but minus 165, you guys know I'm not touching it here on the money line. Now, can I count on Toronto to come out and win that first period? I'm iffy of that, you guys, because I do think both of these teams can score in the first period. I like the over 1.5 in the first period. That's coming in at minus 118. You're going to get plus money on both teams to score in the first period, unless one of these goalies comes out extremely hot. I do think both teams score, or I could see one team scoring 2 goals. So you're going to get the best odds, the best ability to cash your bet, taking the over 1.5 at minus 118. But I do think it's worth taking both teams to score as well for a little bit, because I do see both of these teams finding the back of each other's nets in this one. But that being said, you guys, I don't know if this one goes over that total of 6. I can see defenses locking down in this game after those first couple of goals come in. We know we've got phenomenal goaltending as well. You guys know I didn't take both teams to score yesterday or that over 1.5 in the first period. I wasn't feeling it, but I'm really feeling it in this game. I really do think this game right here is where we get both teams to score and the over 1.5. So best of luck with this game. I'm going to look at Braden Point. for his points for the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think they will come in, but I like even more Ryan O'Reilly. Like I said, I think he's hugely impactful for the Toronto Maple Leafs, looking at his points over half a point. So he just needs to get 1 point tonight. It's coming in at -115. That is my favorite player prop of this game. Now, looking at goalie props, I don't know if I really want to hit the goalie props in this one because I do think these goalies get hit early and then things calm down. I'm counting on their defenses to try to step up a little bit more in the second and third period. So I'm going to stay off goalie props, but I do like Ryan O'Reilly for that anytime point at -150, and I look at Braden Point for the anytime point as well. You were wondering about Jack Hughes's shots on goal prop, Chris. Okay, we will go back to that. I will just make a note here of Jack Hughes. I haven't looked at his numbers, so we will look at his numbers together. Just because I'm not writing the Devils tonight is kind of one of the reasons why I wouldn't give you his numbers, but we'll look at it at the end of the show when we wrap up here after the parlays. And if we can make some money on Jack Hughes, you guys know I want to make some money on Jack Hughes. I don't think the Devils go scoreless in this one. So I do think there's probably opportunity to make some money there. Patrick Kane for an anytime goal, definitely a really solid way to go as well. Igor, say shots on goal. You knew I would be on it. I love, Kelly, that you know me so well. You're really seeing where I'm going with a lot of these things. Devils will win the cup. Wow. Stevie Ray, Devils to win the cup. Let me know what the odds are on right now because I don't have it in front of me. I don't want to go off my odds screen for these games, but Stevie, let everyone know what that would be. Corpusalo, that's who it was only at 26 at the end of the third. Thank God, Joe, for overtime. You are so right. I was sweating that one. And Mike, thank you. It's so exciting to have you as a new member. I appreciate you for joining. And let's get into the next game, you guys. The next game is the Winnipeg Jets taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, we see this Winnipeg Jets coming in as the underdog, and lots of people are talking about this is going to be the upset of the night. I don't see it. I don't trust Connor Hellebuyck on the road. I honestly don't. He's been a little inconsistent for us on the road this season. The Winnipeg Jets are good, but you guys, they fought to get into the playoffs. I see this being a letdown spot for them after so much, how hard they had to dig, right? They had to dig nonstop. Now, Vegas didn't have to dig as hard, but they still had to dig because they wanted first in the Pacific. And we know Edmonton was chasing them, trying to get first in the Pacific as well. I just think Winnipeg here, I don't want part of. Could they pull off the upset? Absolutely. Now we know Mark Stone is back for the Vegas Golden Knights, and he should be really impactful for his team. Will he be a little rusty and make mistakes? He might be. But -145 to -150 here for the Vegas Golden Knights. I do think it's the right side in this game if you want to jump on a side. I do think Vegas gets a home win. Now, the last time these teams played, it was a high-scoring game back in December, 6-5 win for the Vegas Golden Knights. I don't see this one being a high-scoring game. Total of 5.5. I have to hit it under. You guys know how terrifying it is hitting an under 5.5 when we have such strong teams offensively. If this one goes to overtime, it gets blown out of the water, that 5.5. We go over for sure. But we've got great goaltending in this one. And while Connor Hellebuyck I don't trust on the road, I still do think he is a good goalie. But we've seen some slip. So you guys have got to go under 5.5 here. I do like Vegas, though, in the first period. I expect Vegas to come out so phenomenally strong on home ice in that first period. The first period puck line is where I would look in this one for the Vegas Golden Knights. And I'm just going to pull up that puck line value for you guys as I cannot remember what it was at. The first period puck line, Vegas laying the half a goal is +156. And I absolutely love it. I think it is a great way to go in this one. Now, I know Vegas has let us down on that puck line sometimes, but I do think in this first period here versus the Winnipeg Jets, they hit Connor Hellebuyck fast, and they hit him nicely in this one. Now, if you want to look at that first period, over 1.5, for me, it would have to be Vegas getting those 2 goals. I'm a little skeptical of the over 1.5 in the first period because I do think this is a lower scoring one. We could see the majority of the goals, though, in this first period, but I like Vegas better, and I like the under 1.5 or under 5.5 for the full game. I think this is a lower scoring game here. Now, the home team between these two teams has won 4 of the last 5 meetings, and the Jets rolled in hot. They went 6-4. We know how hard they had to dig to get in here, finishing 4th in the Central, 46, 33, and 3 on the season. But we look at these defenses, both defenses allowing these shots to come in, but both goaltenders really stepping up and stopping these goals. So I do think we have a lower scoring game. The last 2 meetings between these two has been decided by just 1 goal. So something to consider, but no real value for the Winnipeg Jets plus the 1.5 on the puck line unless you're going to parlay it. I don't mind parlaying it at all, plus 1.5 for the Winnipeg Jets with something else. I do think there is value there if you're going to parlay it. Yeah, if you guys can smash that like button, I would really appreciate it. Plus 1,200 for the New Jersey Devils to win the Cup. That would be quite the run if the New Jersey Devils could get past all of these teams. It's going to be an absolute battle versus the Rangers, but if they get through, you guys, you never know what can happen. I just worry about the lack of experience out of the New Jersey Devils. I wonder if their younger players are going to crumble under the stress here, because we did see them have some really struggles in the last one. LA Knight, Stone anytime. Yeah, I like Stone for the point tonight as well. You're going to sprinkle on Stone for the power play point. That is a nice one as well. Dallas didn't lose because of the rest. They lost because the Wild was more physical. Yeah, there was a lot of really physical hits in that one. Dallas is more talent. The talent doesn't always win, and I agree with you on that one. Devils 11-1 on Betway to win the Cup. Man, I tell you, I would love to see underdog like the New Jersey Devils, a team that no one really expected. Yes, they finished 2nd in the Metro. No one's talking about them to win the Stanley Cup. Everyone's talking about Edmonton and Colorado, the Boston Bruins, the Carolina Hurricanes. Those are the buzz teams, you guys. So looking at these teams that no one's talking about, like the New Jersey Devils, is a phenomenal way to go. I just don't know if they can get through. You guys sprinkle on it if you like it, though. So you never know what could happen, and you don't want to sit here and say, man, I wish I had taken them. Let's look at the last game on the board. The Seattle Kraken taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Total of 6 in this one. Colorado, $2 favorite, minus 200 on that money line, plus 170 for the Seattle Kraken. Now, when we look at these two teams normally play 1-goal games. The Kraken plus 1.5 is at minus 145. So I absolutely don't hate that. We look, the last game these two teams played back in March, we saw the Kraken win 3-2. The game before that, the Colorado Avalanche won 2-1. The game before that, the Seattle Kraken won 3-2. The game before that, Seattle won 3-2. Before that, Colorado won 4-3. The only game that hasn't been decided by 1 goal was back on November 21st, 2020, when Colorado won 7-3. Every single other game has been won by 1.5 or by 1 goal. It's crazy to think. We've seen these games go to OT. We've seen such competitive games here. We know Colorado won the Cup last year. This team is insanely strong. Cale Makar is back in the lineup. It's amazing how these players that are out day to day, then all of a sudden they're perfectly healthy back for the playoffs. But Cale Makar, such an impactful player for this team. My book will not give me block shots on goal anymore for Cale Makar. If you guys can get block shots on your book, he is definitely someone who made us so much money last season and last playoff season for block shots on goal. If you can get him over 1.5, over 2.5 even, I would take him here. He's so impactful on this team. Now looking at the last 4 meetings between these two teams, the underdog has also won. The Kraken coming in here 4th in the Pacific, 46, 28, and 8 points. And then first in the Central for the Colorado Avalanche, 51, 24, and 7. Colorado is such a phenomenal team. I do think they're the stronger team in this matchup. We look at both of them. They're both able to get these goals. Grubauer is going to have to stand on his head because Colorado does average 33.3 shots on goal. That being said, the Seattle Kraken are solid at limiting opponents' ability, holding them to right around that 27 mark. When we look at Georgiev in goal for the Colorado Avalanche, he's going to take right around that 30.5 shots on goal from the Seattle Kraken. But Colorado not as strong at limiting. They allow right around that 31. So Georgiev has to stand on his head in this one. And we're going to look at his goalie props rather than taking the Seattle Kraken's Grubauer, just because the Avs do allow more shots on their goalie there. So I'm just going to pull up this number right away for you guys. So Grubauer is coming in at 27.5, and Georgiev is coming in at 27.5 as well. I'm going to look at him to go over his safe shots on goal for sure. Now, it's not that I don't trust in Grubauer here. It's just that I do think the Seattle Kraken will come out stronger defensively, limiting their opponent's ability to get these shots. That being said, we know Cale Makar is going to get these block shots as well. So this is going to be a tight one to the over for Georgiev here at 27.5. So Seattle's offense has to come out super strong for this one to go over. It's going to be an absolute battle out there on the ice. The only way I can take this is I do think the Avs win. Okay. I think the Avs probably win the first period, but I think the Seattle Kraken cover the 1.5. Kind of like what we saw with the Florida Panthers and the Boston Bruins yesterday. That one didn't cash though. The Florida Panthers couldn't keep it tight enough. And that's my little bit of fear in this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at something that paid off for us the last two games with the Colorado Avalanche. We took them on that puck line in the first period. Beautiful plus money the last two games. Taking the Colorado Avalanche on the puck line in the first period, -0.5 goals, plus 156 today. We got it plus 140, plus 145 the last two games. I think this is another one. Out of their last 4 games out of the regular season, they did win 3 of the last 4 first periods. The other one, they had a draw. It was 1-1. So look for the Avs to go up quick in this game. Quick goal on Grubauer and Georgiev to stand on his head in that first period. Now, I still do think Seattle keeps it tight for the full game. But I think the first period here is the Colorado Avalanche to win at plus 156. I can't look away from it again, you guys. So we've already cashed it. Let's do it. And let's make some freaking money, you guys. Yeah, the Bruins curse, that is for sure. You killed it last night, Jeff. I am so glad you killed it. That is awesome to hear. I love hearing about you guys make some money. You bumped up to 1 goal. We're under on all. So 5.5 bought up to 6.5. Jeff, I love that. Congratulations. Nice work on doing that. Kraken and Avalanche going over in the first period. Damn luck. Best of luck, Joe. We could see it come in. I really hope Colorado is the one who gets 2 goals or 2-1. I do think we'll see these goals slow down in the second and the third period. So I don't mind your over 1.5 in the first period. I just hope both goals come from the Avs, so I'm not sweating this one out. I'm going to take the Avs parlayed with Vegas tonight. Mike, I do like that because I do think Vegas and the Avs get the win tonight. Grubauer under 27.5 save goals. If I had to go one way or the other, I would look at the under 27.5 save goals, Chris, because I do think defensively we will see in this one the Seattle Kraken really limit the Colorado Avalanche ability to get these shots on him. I do think this is one where you can take Grubauer under 27.5. I hate betting the unders for goalie props, so I'll be staying off it, but I do think it is a nice way to go. Going over tonight in saves, the Avs are going to be in their kitchen all night. Grubauer, you're going to take it over, Mike. They are going to be pushing for sure. Kraken plus 1.5 on the puck line for White Leo. I'm with you. This is exactly where I want to put my money. I think you're right, Joe. I'm a little nervous about this one. And that's why I only want the Avs in the first period. If the Seattle Kraken are going to get an upset, this could be it right here. We know Cale Makar coming back into the lineup. Things change out there on the ice. I do think the Avs come out strong in the first period. I think the competitiveness between these two teams, we could see an upset of the Seattle Kraken here. I'm not confident in it enough to even sprinkle. I'm just going to grab them plus 1.5 on that puck line. I think Colorado is the deeper team. I think Colorado is a team that will be advancing through this series. The Kraken are not going to make it easy, though. This is a feisty team that fights and never gives up. You guys, if the Avs go up 2-0 in that first period and you're getting the Seattle Kraken plus 1.5, plus 2 on that puck line with great value, jump on it right away. I don't see Colorado blowing them out. Again, I think it's a 1-goal game. So right now I'm going to take them plus 1.5 on the puck line at minus 145. But if you're getting better value after this game starts, I definitely would jump on it at that point as well. Now, looking at these games, another thing to look at is if we see quick goals in that first period, that total is going to jump up. Hitting it under at that point is absolutely beautiful. I would look at that, especially between the Lightning and the Maple Leafs. If we see both of these teams score like I expect in that first period and fast, you're going to see that total go from 6 up to 6.5 or 7, cashing it under. Watching these live lines is making us so much money in hockey. So watch for that, you guys. It's going to be a great night on the ice. I want to thank you so much for joining me here. Let's build a parlay. Let's recap these games. And let's get these games started already, you guys. I cannot wait for them to kick off. The first game, the New York Rangers taking on the New Jersey Devils. You guys, I do think this is the Rangers game to win in New Jersey. I think this is the only time we'll get them plus money for the next two games in New Jersey. So I'm going to take them at plus 110 tonight. I expect them to win this one. I expect them to be minus 120 the next game. And at that point, I'll probably hit New Jersey to get the home win. I don't think we see the Rangers win both games in New Jersey. I think they win the first game. New Jersey wins the second. So that's how I'm playing it. Early look ahead. As soon as we see this game conclude, and if you do see the Rangers win this game tonight, jump on the New Jersey Devils right away before you miss the best value of the line after this game. So I will be on the Devils if New York wins. Now, if New York doesn't win tonight, I'm going to be looking at a couple of things. And if New York totally blows out the Devils tonight, like I'm talking like 5-0 kind of win, don't jump on it. But if you see a tight game like I'm expecting in this one, lower scoring game, do jump on the Devils for the next game after. But at this point, I am liking the Rangers to get the win here. I think this one is a beautiful upset, kind of upset. They're only plus 110 win here. I think the Rangers team total is live over 2.5. I think this is a 3-2 game. I do like the under if I'm going to have to bet it, under 5.5. If you want to buy it up for the parlay to under 6.5, I completely agree with you on that. I do think at worst we get that empty netter 4-2 game here for the New York Rangers. So I'm going to take the Rangers. I'm going to take them with that plus money even on the money line for the parlay at plus 110. Again, Igor Shesterkin over 30.5 save shots on goal tonight is coming in at a beautiful rate. I believe it was minus 110. So look at Igor or minus 118. No matter what it is, I think Igor does go over that. We were going to look at Jack Hughes for Chris here. So let's just look at Jack Hughes's numbers tonight. We know how impactful he has been for the New Jersey Devils. So Jack Hughes for points, to record 1+ point, you can't take it there. It is minus 310 for the points. I'm not even going to extend those points up and look and see what it is because I don't want to take him for more than 1 point in this because it's going to be a lower scoring game in my opinion. So if we're looking for shots on goal, let's see what his numbers are coming in at. Shots tonight, 3+ shots for Jack Hughes is minus 355. can't hit that. 4+ shots on goal for Jack Hughes is -135. Now, I think that is probably good. 4+ shots on goal for Jack Hughes. I don't mind that at all. Points and assists, like I said, too high. If you do think Jack Hughes gets that anytime goal, we're looking at him at +155 for the anytime goal on Igor Shesterkin. Because I'm riding the Rangers, I do think there's 2 goals out of the New Jersey Devils. I would look at Jack Hughes' shots on goal over his anytime goal tonight. We know the New Jersey Devils do put up these shots, and I do expect these shots to come in. So Jack Hughes, Chris, like you're asking, shots on goal over 4, I don't mind it at -135 for the over 4 shots. We could see this one go to overtime. Absolutely. So looking at this game to go to OT, because this is going to be an absolute battle, let's just look at what price and what value we're getting here to go to overtime. +340 to go to overtime between these two. The books are expecting it to go to overtime as well. 2-2 into overtime, doing that exact score, 3-2 for the New York Rangers. The only reason I could see this one not going into OT is by mistake by someone. Actually, like when we really start to break it down, this is going to be a tight, hard battle here. Both of these goalies are going to play phenomenal. Both of these teams are going to come out strong. So +340 to go to overtime, you guys. I do like it. Devils and Rangers. I think that is a great way to go. Okay, so we threw the Rangers on the money line into the parlay. The Lightning and the Toronto Maple Leafs. I like the Leafs to get the win here. I think it is pivotal for the Leafs to get the win here, to build their momentum. The Lightning's such a great price, and I wish I could jump on them, but I do think the Leafs with Ryan O'Reilly, different animal this year than we've seen other years in the playoffs for this team. So I'm going to look at the Leafs. I'm going to throw the first period over 1.5 in the parlay between the Lightning and the Leafs. I do think this one, you guys, goes to both teams to score in that first period with the plus money. I think it's a 2-goal first period. I think it probably slows down thereafter. So I'm not going to touch that total of 6. If you see these 2 goals come in quick, this total is going to go up. When this total goes up to 6.5 and 7, then hit it under, because I do expect still great goaltending, great defenses. Things slow down in the second and third period. So first period, higher scoring. Second period, definitely lower scoring. That third period, though, could open up as they fight to get the win here. Now, Braden Point for the anytime point I like tonight. You got to take Braden Point for a point. His name says it all, but Ryan O'Reilly is my favorite. Ryan O'Reilly over 0.5 point here at -115. So that first period over 1.5 is what I'm hitting in the parlay. The Winnipeg Jets and the Vegas Golden Knights, because I think Vegas has this. I'm throwing Vegas in the money line into the parlay. I just don't have enough faith in Connor Hellebuyck not to get a little rattled in this. That being said, I still do think under 5.5, phenomenal way to take this game. Now, I know people are loving Winnipeg to get the upset. I just don't see it. I think they had to fight way too hard to get here. And yes, could they come in with momentum after clinching that wild card spot, battling it out? Absolutely they could. But I'm looking at as they come in here, this is a little bit of tiredness in this team. Yes, they've had some time off, but Vegas, with Mark Stone back, I think has the ability to get the home win. Now, could Winnipeg win the next one? Absolutely. I'm going to be watching this game in depth to see actually what we get out of both of these teams. Let's scrap Vegas on the money line in the parlay. Let's take Winnipeg. Let's take the Jets and Vegas under 5.5. I do think it is a stronger bet here. I really do think the goaltending and the defense is out of both of them, but I do think Vegas gets the win. At -145, I think it's worth it. I like Vegas on the puck line for the first period too, to come out so strong in that first period. Now, that total of 1.5 in the first period, I'd lean to the over in that. If the goals come in, they come in quick, and then things settle down as well. I do expect this to be another 3-2 style game, keeping it under that total of 5.5. We look at these two teams off a rest, so strong to the under. The Jets in their last 11 games playing on 3 or more days rest, 9-1-1 to that under. As the Golden Knights in their last 4 games playing on 3 days rest, they've gone 3-0-1 to that under. So I do like the under 5.5. This is playoff hockey, you guys. 3 of the 4 games last night went under. Edmonton would have gone under if they did not get in that penalty box. It was freaking annoying. The Seattle Kraken, the Colorado Avalanche, you guys know, plus money on the Avs in the first period. I freaking love it. Plus 156 on that puck line at minus a half a goal. They've got to win the first period by 1 goal. That's all we need. And then we will cash at plus 156. Now, I do think the full game, you got to grab the Kraken plus the 1.5. These 2 teams play 1-goal games. They played 1-goal games for the longevity of their games against each other, except for that very first one where the Avs blew out the Seattle Kraken in Colorado 7-3 back on November 21st, 2020. Every other game, 1-goal game, back and forth between these 2. The underdog has won the last 4 meetings. So if you want to sprinkle on the Kraken at plus 170, I wouldn't blame you. I do think Colorado is the better team, so I'm a little leery here, but I think Colorado, first period, come in here. They might have a little bit too much confidence taking on the 4th team in the Pacific when they're the first team in the Central. If they come out cocky, the Seattle Kraken could pull off the upset here at plus 170. You guys know I really, really want to sprinkle on that. I'm just a sucker for that plus money. But let's recap this parlay and let's get to it. You like the under 6 for the parlay, Kelly. I agree with you. If you buy that up to 6, you have a better ability to get that win. Yeah, if you comment after the show, I appreciate it. You like the first period Vegas puck line? Yeah, they do. They have amazing fans. That is for sure. Release the Kraken, Anthony. The Kraken plus 2.5. I don't mind it. And you guys, when you look at doing these parlays, if you hit the Seattle Kraken plus 2.5, and then the Winnipeg Jets plus 2.5, you've got 2 underdogs that will keep these games tight and competitive, could be able to cash there. You could also look at that with the Lightning plus 2.5, putting that with a Seattle Kraken, or even the New Jersey Devils plus 2.5, the New York Rangers plus 2.5, putting that with the Seattle Kraken plus 2.5. So extending these numbers, getting closer to even money in your parlays. But my best bets of the day, I love Vegas on that puck line in the first period, minus a half a goal at plus 156. I love Colorado in the first period. I believe it was the same odds, minus a half a goal, plus 156. I do think Vegas and Winnipeg stays under the total. I absolutely love it. I think the Rangers pull off the upset. And I do think the first period over 1.5, both teams to score between the Lightning and Toronto is another best bet. So give me for the parlay, Rangers money line, the first period over 1.5, the Lightning and the Leafs, the Jets and Vegas under 5.5, and the Kraken plus 1.5. But you guys, we'll be back here tomorrow. Hopefully we'll all be talking about making money tonight. Enjoy these games. Enjoy your traditions, watching the playoffs. It's going to be an exciting run over the next couple of months here to see who takes the Stanley Cup. If you got early predictions for who takes the Stanley Cup, I know you guys are throwing out New Jersey Devils at plus 1,100, plus 1,200. Let me know who you are liking. So all the best, you guys. Have a freaking great day. OT, Rangers and Devils to OT. I could see it between Vegas and Winnipeg as well. Man, all of these games have the prime opportunity to go to overtime. But Igor Shesterkin, my favorite goalie prop of the night. I do think he comes out absolutely phenomenal. You guys have a good one. Keep smiling. Let's make some freaking money. And thank you, Chris. I appreciate you guys for being here with me each and every day. If you can hit that like, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss tomorrow's show, and comment below over here on YouTube with what you're liking. Just helps my algorithm so more people can see the show. You guys have a good one. I will be back here tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern. Bye, guys.